what's up everyone? Game Dad here, and today I am coming at you all with a ranking video. And this time we are taking a look at the Toaplan Arcade Shoot 'em Up Collection Volume 1. Now I want to give a big shout out to Embracer for sending me a code to be able to check out all of the cool games in this collection, but I also want to emphasize that this in no way affects my thoughts about any of the games in this collection. Now, before we dive in and start ranking these games, there are 4 of them that come in the collection. You have Truxton, you have Outzone, Twin Cobra, and then you also have Zero Wing. And something that is really cool about this collection is they've added a lot of special features to it. So they have added actual high scores. In some cases, there is multiplayer on them. And then they have added special features like the ability to rewind, the ability to slow things down. There is an easy mode. There's things like being able to turn on auto fire, guard, stuff like that. So they have added some cool extra things, or you can just play the game as you normally would and just have a blast doing that. Now let's get into ranking the 4 games that come in this Toaplan Arcade Shoot 'em Up Collection of Volume 1. And remember, these are all my opinion, not fact or anything like that. It's just my opinion on these games. Now first up, let's talk about Outzone. Now this game, it is a fun vertical style shoot 'em up, and it's got some really cool variety with the enemies and with the different weapon types you can get. And it even has an option in there if you're feeling overwhelmed where you can just like bomb and obliterate the whole screen. So that's pretty good, especially in something that at times definitely becomes a bullet hell style game. Now, I will say though, for me personally, there are a couple of mechanics that I found a little bit annoying in the game. And I don't know, maybe people have fond memories of it. For me, it's not really my cup of tea, but whenever you have all of your basic weapons and upgrades that you can get in the game, you end up having full range of motion. You can shoot all over the screen, but there are a couple of different weapons that force you to only shoot forward. So now you have to maneuver your way around in different ways in order to still shoot all the enemies that are always actively shooting at you. So that mechanic for me personally is a little bit annoying and definitely brings down the score for me. But I like it better when you just have free range of motion because it's a lot more fun to just kind of spray all across the map. The other annoying mechanic for me in this game, though, is the battery, or your health, that is just constantly draining. If you get hit, you die in the game. If you take too long to get an energy tank or get to the next section, you die in the game. And I think that, for me personally, that adds an unnecessary level of difficulty to a game that at times can already be extremely difficult. So I didn't really care for that mechanic, but honestly, I know that with Outzone in particular, that is kind of the entire gimmick behind it. You're like a robot and you're running out of energy. So obviously it is a key mechanic in the game. But overall, for me in this collection, Outzone gets a B. Now, next up, let's talk about Twin Cobra. And out of all the games in this collection, honestly, this is my least favorite one. It has all the makings of being a really good shoot 'em up, in my opinion. It is a vertical shoot 'em up, and that's fine. I mean, I don't really care if it's vertical or horizontal, but overall, the game felt really generic to me. All the different enemy types, there's like only a small handful of them, and then they just kind of change colors around, and that seems kind of lazy in my personal opinion. And then the upgrades and stuff for weapons and all of that, I don't know. It wasn't really my vibe. I didn't really care for this one, and like I said, this was my least favorite in the collection. And at times, I found myself wanting to use one of the other features that actually comes with this collection. In addition to being able to rewind and slow down, you have a button where you can actually speed up the gameplay. And honestly, to make the game more fun, I was just holding down the speed up button because it made it more challenging. Because before that, I don't know, it wasn't that fun. It was a little too easy. And if I'm playing a game like this, I expect there to be very hard parts and then some easy parts just to give you a little bit of a break, and then you dive right back into the action. So overall, Twin Cobra gets a D for me. Now up next we have Zero Wing. This is a horizontal shooter and it is super fun. It can definitely be difficult especially in the very beginning of the game. There is kind of a steep learning curve, but once you get the hang of it, the game is actually really fun, and it's not that it is easy to go through, but it's easy to pick up and continue with. And in addition to a really cool enemy variety, really cool level design, things like that, and really cool upgrades, there's also an extra little mechanic that is like a tractor beam. So any of the smaller enemies that are on the screen, you can activate your tractor beam and kind of suck them up to the nose of your ship, and you can either launch them at someone else, or you can just hold it there and use it as a shield against other enemies on the screen. Now, although this game is fun in my opinion, I was only going to give it a B, but if you are into retro gaming, at some point you have probably seen the meme about all your base are belong to us. That horrible localization translation that has made its rounds everywhere on the internet, and just because of its notoriety and because of that, I'm gonna bump this game up to an A. I probably would have given it a B plus overall, but it's definitely got that meme factor in there, and it's kind of fun. Now, up next is the one that I hands down played way more than any of the other games in this collection, and I mean collectively. I have played this one game more than the other three combined by far, and that is Truxton. Truxton is a super fun vertical shoot 'em up, and it is great because it just has a huge variety of enemies that you can go after. It's got really cool level design. It's got great music going along with it. I mean, a lot of these different games have great music going along with them, but this one, I don't know, it just stands out for me more. And on top of that, it also has a really cool array of upgrades, and it's very easy to identify what kind of upgrade you're going to get. That way you know if a particular kind of section is coming up, you can get an upgrade that will best suit your needs for that section. Plus, what's really fun about this game is after you go through all of the actually really cool bosses, I believe it was something like 14 or 15 different bosses that are in this game, which is awesome. Then the game actually loops through onto an even harder difficulty, and the game is just hours of fun. And what's really cool as a result of this collection and being able to have save states, stuff like that, you can just put it down and then go pick it up another time, play for a little bit, put it down, go pick it up. I mean, it's a super pick up and play kind of game, along with the other ones in this collection too, but for me, my personal favorite in this collection was definitely Truxton, and that's why I give this one a rank S. Now again, all of these rankings are just my personal opinion. I'm sure you have different opinions, and I would love to hear about it down in the comments below. And again, a big thank you to Embracer for sending over the codes for this collection. That way I could share my thoughts about these games with all of you. Now, if you all like this video and you want to check out another one of my videos, then go ahead and check out this area right here. And as always, I'm Game Dad. I thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you later.